The intro to Thor made me realize we've never seen a superhero movie set in ancient times, and I don't know why that is. Like, I would love to see a superhero movie where the main character is like a Homo erectus, Homo sapien. Oh shit, I don't remember the differences. I think Homo sapiens are modern day humans, like we are Homo sapiens, but I think Homo erectus was like cavemen, like before we evolved into the humans we are, you know what I'm saying? My point is, let's get a superhero that's ancient times, not like in the past, not in the 60s or something. I'm talking this superhero figures out fire, but it's not by using a rock and some flint. It's using like his eyes or something. Anyways, hey, what's going on, guys? My name is John, but people on the internet call me Narwhal, and I'm in the midst of a series right now where I'm watching through every single superhero movie ever made in order because I'd never seen any of them. And today we're here to talk about Thor. Now, the first note I have written down that obviously has been talked about many times, and I can't really add a whole lot to the conversation, but holy shit, black people are super underrepresented in Hollywood in general, but also in these superhero movies. Like, Thor came out in 2011, and every single movie before that I had watched, the only movie I watched where the lead hero was a black person was Blade. Blade came out in 1998. Now, Michael B. Jordan was a superhero in the newest Fantastic Four movie, but that came out in 2015, and I only reviewed it earlier because I was watching these in kind of a different order. But holy shit, come on. Now look, I'm a straight white male. I am the most privileged type of person on the planet, so I can connect and relate to and enjoy a lot of these movies. But as I'm doing this series, I keep just thinking, like, if you're an African American, it must be super frustrating always seeing your culture underrepresented in cinema. And then the only time that they do throw in like a black character, half the time they're a fucking sidekick or assistant or like a manager or butler type character. I don't know. I just think it's fucked up, and it's crazy to me that it took this long for things to change at all. Now, that's not like shots at Thor specifically. I'm just saying in general of all these movies as a whole. The reason I wrote that down in the first place is because Thor is just so white. Like, the whole planet is just very white. And obviously Idris Elba's in this movie, and maybe that's what made me write that note down in the first place is like, look, I just Googled cast of Thor, all right? I'm just gonna go through based on like if they're white or not. White. Idris Elba's black. White. Black. Asian. Taika Waititi. I'm not sure exactly where he's from. White. Potentially not white, and then maybe Hispanic, and then another white. But anyway, I thought Thor was pretty awesome. I'd seen a lot of people talking shit about it, and I still to this day don't really get why. To me, this movie was a great time. I thought when they got shot through space at light speed, that was totally awesome. Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, that looks so fun. I want to try it. I really enjoyed the themes of learning how to become a leader and how Thor was just a boy and he was not ready to be a leader yet. And then that sets up, you know, many future movies, because we all know it takes a really long time to become a better person and to become worthy of being a leader. And imagine your dad like banishing you and casting you away, not like out of your house, not just kicking you out of house or making you pay rent or something. It's like, no, you're getting sent to a different fucking planet. Honestly, my favorite part of this entire movie was witnessing Thor experience what Earth is like and trying to learn how to interact with humans. He smashed a coffee mug in a restaurant on the floor. He grabbed a stranger. He was walking in the middle of the street. And there's just so many little nuanced details about everyday life that as humans, our whole life, we've just become to understand them for whatever reason. We don't question it because the world works better if everyone doesn't walk in the street. And it was just cool to see what happens when someone totally disregards all of that. Something that was pretty crazy to me is there's a line about iPods, and in my TikTok review, I said something along the lines of how kids nowadays probably don't even know what an iPod is. Now, obviously, it depends on your age. Like, if there's a kid who's, you know, in 10th grade right now, they might know what an iPod is. They probably never had an iPod, but like, I'm talking about kids that are in 5th, 6th grade. They have no clue what an iPod is. And why would they? You know, like, I'm not talking shit to them. I'm not blaming them. I'm not being the old head who's like, bro, you never listen to a music on vinyl, bro? I still to this day have never listened to music on a record player in my entire life, I'm pretty sure. So like, I get it. Times change and the norms of what you should and shouldn't know and like have seen change. A lot of the most classic movies, in my opinion, like the best movies ever made, like Good Will Hunting, right? To me, that's a movie that every single human being on the planet should see or has seen or would love if they did see it. But I'm realizing now that a lot of, I'd say majority of kids now have never seen Good Will Hunting, and a lot of them probably don't want to. The same way that I look at black and white movies and it's really hard for me to get into them, or movies that are, you know, from the fucking 50s with really bad audio. It's hard for me to want to watch that because I'm like, I can watch so many other things that are just better quality and easier for me to get sucked into. So I understand why kids maybe don't want to watch Good Will Hunting. And my point is with all of this, the fact that kids don't know what an iPod is makes me really sad because iPods were awesome. Personally, I had this purple Nano and it was really cool. I tried to convince my parents to get me a shuffle before the Nano. They weren't feeling it, and I'm kind of glad because who the fuck wants a shuffle where you can't even pick what fucking song is on next? The iPod reference in this movie is kind of the same as when I watch older movies and they're using like the turn dial phones. Fuck, people are gonna be real mad. I literally don't know what those are called. The type of home phones people had where you gotta put your finger in and like twist the numbers around. I genuinely don't know what those are called. But like, why would I? That's my point. Why would I know that? Maybe that's just general knowledge that the average person should know and I'm just an idiot. But anyway, I really like Jane Foster. I love the relationship between her and Thor. Loki is very intriguing to me. I'm not sure how I feel about Loki yet, but I do know there's a Loki show coming out, so might have to watch that when the series ends. Who knows? But anyways, that's my general thoughts on Thor. I thought it was super fun, and you know, obviously it's not a masterpiece. No one expected that, but I just can't believe that people don't like it. Genuinely, like I thought it was, everything about it was pretty good. I guess I should also mention Chris Hemsworth. I mean, what else is there to say? He's a fucking legend. He literally is like a god in real life. Like just the look of him as a person. He's so fucking jacked. The long hair. I don't know. I mean, he crushed it. So anyways, guys, that's all I really got to say. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment down below, letting me know what you thought of Thor. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed seeing me go through the MCU for the first time. It's been a lot of fun for me, and I'm excited to keep going. If you enjoy this content or me or whatever, check out my podcast called Peak to Middle School that's co-hosted with me and my buddy Kyle. We're actually in the studio for it right now. I think that if you like my videos here, you'd really enjoy the podcast, so go check it out. It's got full video versions for every episode if you're more of a visual guy like me. Man fills bowling ball with father's ashes and bowls a perfect game.
I saw that. I didn't know what that meant though. Did he like literally dump his dad?
Yeah, like that feels so like morally. That feels like I'm gonna get haunted.
Rolling your dad
just
down the lane.
Throwing my dad into these pins. Do you think spiritually? Do you think the dad got to feel like he was the bowling ball?
I think he got to look down and watch it happen. Maybe he was guiding the ball a little bit too.
Wouldn't it kind of be cooler though if he was the ball?
No, because then you're throwing your dad at pins. Would you want to get cremated when you die?
Yeah.
Where do you want to get sprinkled? Do you want to get sprinkled anywhere? I just mean, do you want to have any sort of, you want to be dropped anywhere? Your last kind of, no, nothing.
Put me in the garbage. I don't care.
Just get John cremated, and I got my box of John. I'm like, well,
all right, this is fun.
This is good.
Anyway, thank you all so much for the support, and I'm going to go watch Captain America: The First Avenger. Peace.